Many of those snowplow drivers were pulled from other jobs due to pandemic budget cuts in the city.
Now the city could be making even more cuts because money just isn't coming in. 41 Action's reporter Andres Gutierrez with that story.
Kansas City, Missouri is anticipating a $50 million deficit in the current fiscal year. Though the amount sounds high, city officials aren't surprised.
It's very difficult to estimate revenue during a pandemic.
So far, the city has benefited from people doing more online shopping, property taxes going up, and new construction, but have sustained losses from casinos closing, the money from license and permits, and revenue from utility taxes.
The city's hospitality activities are taking the largest hit from the crisis caused by the COVID-19 pandemic.
The city has tightened its belt about money they spend. Departments have implemented cuts and have come up with creative ways to save. There's also $100 million in KCMO's rainy day fund.
Coming out of the Great Recession, we did not have these kinds of reserves. And so we have clawed our way back, if you will, over these last 10 years to get to the point where we are. So I guess maybe my overall message would be don't panic.
Leaders are considering ways how to close the deficit.
We're not filling this with a tax increase. What we're going to do and what we have been doing over the last however many months now that we've been in this situation is sharpening our pencils, seeing where we can find savings, seeing where we can find new revenue sources, of which there aren't a ton.
The city manager said Thursday one possible option is looking at street lights. Between the electric bill and maintenance, it costs $13 million to keep them on. Something more cost effective, LED lights.
What we are not saying is that we're just giving up on what government does. What we are saying is that it'll be tighter, it'll be tougher this year, but we'll make sure it happens.
In Kansas City, Andres Gutierrez, 41 Action News.